Public League season is once again upon us, and Black Cajun Sports makes it down to, is it dynasty status, man? How do I describe what goes on down here? How many you got altogether? States?
4.
That's not dynasty?
No. There's only one dynasty in this league right now.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get there.
All right.
The dynasty's on 21st Street, though. When we played them last year, I think it was a 7-point game, a couple years ago. Every game has been kind of close, physical. We know that there's a lot of talent over there, but all these games, Constitution King Imhotep, Math Civic Science King, every one of these games becomes a dogfight at some point in time.
While I got you here, we're going to go down the list. What do you think about the realignment of the pub?
I think that a few years ago, last year it was this big. We had some issues,
Explain what happened.
The top heavy teams, the Constitutions and the Imhoteps, were having blowout wins against some of the teams that were at the bottom. Mm-hmm. So we decided that there wasn't 10, 12 teams that could really compete, right? So we went to this smaller thing. Everybody plays each other twice. Then you wound up playing them in the States. You wound up playing them in the public league playoffs. And it kind of got a little stagnant. It's the same teams over and over and over again. The same 4 teams. It's King, Constitution, MCS, and Imhotep. Like, that's it. The mastery the last couple. But for the last 6 to 8 years, these 4 teams, somebody else here and there.
So what's the solution?
So, I guess as a league, we decided to extend it. Obviously there's some good coaching and some good, Lincoln had a great season last year. Gratz and Leonard is doing a great job with his kids. Bartram always has talent. So, we just figured to give this another shot of extending it. So same amount of games.
What does it look like now?
So instead of playing each other twice, home and away, everybody plays each other once.
How many teams was in it before?
There was 6 before, so you would get
what is it now?
10 games. Now it's 11. It's still 10 games.
Okay.
Instead of playing each other twice, you play everybody once.
Okay.
And I think that one thing about that is, and we had these situations before, where we'd play a team 3 or 4 times in the season. It almost got to be a point where it's almost like AAU, there wasn't a sense of urgency of winning the game because we're about to play them in 2 weeks anyway. So it's now you're only going to see King once, you're only going to see Imhotep once. You have to have a sense of pride and you want to go win that game and not think about it.
Subject 2, the transfer rules. What about the kid in Lehigh County? He won, but his coach tried to keep him from playing. What do you think about the way the state is dealing with this stuff?
I don't think about it at the end of the day. Everybody has their own vision. I just want to coach my kids.
What it would look like.
Yeah,
I think you should be able to block a 9th grader.
I don't think you should be able to block anybody. I had a conversation with somebody the other day. Mm-hmm. I called him to get a piece for these bleachers, right? He's got a 717 number. I called a guy. I said, hey, Zach, I got your number from the main office. I'm trying to get a gun to open and shut my bleachers. Mm-hmm. So what school you at? I said, I'm at Constitution High School. He said, oh, my God, we played you guys in 2010 state playoffs. My first state playoff game ever.
Oh, okay.
Millersburg, right? I said, oh, yeah, I remember that game I had Xavier Harris. And, he was like, look, we're a small town. We can't, everybody's from Millersburg. We can't compete with a team from Philadelphia. I get the frustration outside. And Allentown's different. That's the frustration of a Millersburg and some of these areas. I understand
they can't
there's
compete.
frustration.
So the state championship is off the table every year.
But I felt like the state championship is probably off the table regardless for certain places. I coach other sports. I coach girls.
Beef then? Do they really have a beef then?
Everybody has their own personality. I don't get into all that. At the end of the day, I coach girls soccer. We were undefeated 14-0. I knew when we played Franklin Town Charter, I knew it was over. At the end of and I hate to say it like that, but we don't compete in wrestling and all these other sports. We compete in basketball, we compete in track.
And that's it.
And the PCL teams compete in football and Imhotep to a certain extent, but even what's their record in state championship games in football? 1-3, 1-4. They get there, but and then there's some frustration across the state of other schools in Pittsburgh, in Erie, getting these kids. It's a national thing.
What do you think about the shift away from live period days with the AAUs to giving it to high schools and the camp situations?
again, like I just go with the flow. Like if that means that I have to be now coaching.
Is it better though? You think? I don't know.
Is it
It's
better?
different.
Is it worse? It's different. I don't know. You know, I don't have. Look, I got a lot of respect for We Are One, Philly Pride, Team Final. You know, Kalo, like you know, Kyle Sample coached with me. You know, Coach Fran that was with me was with Philly Pride.
Do you think a parent should look at it differently now? Has the situation changed for the kids, the way they're doing things?
Absolutely. So I had a conversation with my kids yesterday. I had a couple kids went to an AAU tournament this weekend. I'm like, listen, if I hear the word AAU from now till March, practice, tournament, anything, I'm just gonna cut you.
Okay.
Because this is my time. I don't interfere with their time, but this is our time right now. You know, like
Your
this is high
time
school.
is now in June though, too.
It's gonna have to be.
Yeah.
So it does change some things.
Yeah.
But in the past,
This is your time.
yeah.
And the summer
So
is there.
I mean, when we were playing team games, June was always our time. If you think about it, there was no AAU tournaments in June.
Okay.
We would have St. Joe's team camp
Now
one,
they dragging
Temple team
all the
camp,
D1
Westchester.
coaches though.
Right. So now they're going to have to change things up, and they have these 2 live periods, and we'll adjust, and you know we'll play in events, and the same way we do in high school, try and get the most exposure. It just is what it is, and I think those AAU guys, like I said, I have a relationship with all of them. I have kids who have played in all of those programs, and I think they're all doing a great job. So, you know, but when things happen, you know, people have to make these, you know, they have to react. And I guess the reaction to some of this stuff was to go this route, but I think this is something they wanted to do anyway.
What do you think about Philly overall right now, as far as the talent level? 2019 was really pretty top heavy.
We always have talent. Like people, you know, there's up years, there's down years. You think about like 2012, we had Savon Goodman, we had Maurice Watson, was an All-American type. Like we've had every year there's talent. Then we had Brandon and Rashid. The next, you know,
So you
every
feel
year.
good about where
I always feel good. You know, at the end of the day, people want to knock Philly, but every year we have these guys. Like go look at all these kids playing college and doing well.
doing well.
That's it, and doing well. You know, and that's what it really is about. You know, not deep. You know, even the kid who's down in Shaw now. We got kids playing Division
Yeah,
II
he's
basketball.
killing national
it.
story.
Right, killing it. You know, it's about going to college, getting education, and if you have some chance to make some money, great. If not, you've gotten to college. You know, use this as a tool to get to the next step. And all my kids, that's the one thing about our program. Our kids are always successful at college, academically. You know, I mean, obviously there's always kids have to work through some academic issues, but my kids are graduating. Daquan Walker's got a degree. Savon's got all these kids got degrees. You know, the kid who just walked in, Abdul King, he's got a master's degree. Now he's helping me out.
What are your projections for the guys on the team right now? Who do you have that you're 100% sure is going to play Division I basketball?
I mean, to be 100% sure, obviously Keyshawn, Champ, and Jabari Murray will be Division I players at some point. So those are the only 2 guys. I have other guys. Obviously, Corey Bridges is 6'8", so you know if he figures some things out, he could be right there. Kid Maurice in the 10th grade. You know, I got a couple kids in the 10th grade, and I have a 9th grade. I think you know is going to surprise everybody and play some minutes for me this year, and he's going to be right there too. So I mean, I look at it top to bottom. Every one of my teams has pretty much always had. Even if you look at my 2012 team. Savon and Daquan were seniors, but you still had Kamar and JR on that team. So I had 4 Division I players. I know the kid Shahir walked on at Robert Morris. You know, and then the next year I had Kamar and JR and Chad. So I had 3 Division I players in 2013, 2014, and 2015.
I mean, I've seen Tamir, Maurice, and the boy at Coppin. I've seen all you guys recently. I see them out there. They're out there playing college basketball.
Exactly. You know, last year I had Jameer, who's, you know, Jameer and Dame are down in junior college, but people are calling Division I schools. They'll eventually.
Big time schools are calling about Jameer.
Right. And eventually those 2 guys will get there. And you'll look at last year's team and be like, well, Champ was on the team, Jabari was on the team, Jameer and Dame, there's 4 Division I kids on the team. So at any given time, I feel like I have 3 or 4 or 5 Division I kids. It's just, you might not see that right now. Okay. You know, people might not have seen Kamar as a Division I player when he was 4'11", you know, and kids have to come through the program and develop. And if they have faith in it and they come and they work, the kids that work and just keep going eventually get there.
So you got a big one next week. Get it started early, right?
We got a lot of big ones. Everyone's big. You know, we got West Catholic, Imhotep.
When is that one?
West Catholic's Friday here.
So you got a big one Friday.
Yeah, West Catholic, you know.
Where is that one?
That's going to be here.
What time?
In our house, 6:30.
Friday night.
Friday night, 6:30 here.
What time they open the door? It might be cold.
probably around 5 for the JV. We're gonna do JV before, so
Okay.
435. Still trying to work that out, just with the construction that's going on in the building.
So you got Boca Chica, and then who you have after that?
You know, the biggest, you know, the biggest of the
So
big.
You start off with Boca Chica and Brother Andre.
Yeah, I got, you know, the MOTEP back to back.
Pub,
Right.
Catholic League,
Yeah.
coaching. All right, people, make it down here. You said Friday night, 6:30 for the varsity.
Yeah.
Doors open probably 4:30
Yeah.
for the JV.
Yeah.
All right, check them out.
Pop on the ball. Okay, you ready? You'll pass the ball. Nobody's gonna let you just catch the ball. Not in the public league. Maybe some other leagues, they'll just let you stand here, pass and go through. Public league, people gonna be in your face the whole time. You have to be able to create space. And then overplay, you have to be able to cut.